Hi guys, and today I'm going to show you how to solve subtraction of dissimilar rational algebraic expressions. So first, let's talk about the steps of subtraction of dissimilar fractions. So first is to change the similar fractions into similar fractions. To do this, find the LCD or the least common denominator. Next is to change the equivalent fraction using the LCD. Then, the steps in solving subtraction of similar fractions. These steps are copy the denominator and subtract the numerators. Lastly, simplify the result possible. So here we have our example. X plus 5 over x squared minus 6x minus 7 minus 6x plus 2 over x squared minus 8x plus 7. So, factor completely the numerator and the denominator. First, the denominators can be factored using AC method. This is where we find two factors that when we multiply will give you negative 7, and when you add them, it'll give you negative 6x. So here we got negative 7 because, based on the rules, if you have different signs, you multiply them normally, and then final answer will be a negative. So 7 times 1 is 7. Then since they have a negative and a positive, the final answer is a negative. That's why we got negative 7. Then when we add them, based on the rules, if you have different signs, you subtract them, then copy a sign of the bigger number. So 7 minus 1 gives you 6. Since 7 is the bigger number, we copy its sign. That's how you got negative 6x. Same thing happens on our second term. We have x squared minus 8x plus 7. So here we used again AC method, and I found the two factors, negative 7 and negative 1. If you multiply them based on the rule, if you have similar signs, you multiply them normally, and then it will become a positive. So 7 times 1 is 7, and since they're both negative, we get positive 7. Then when you add them, based again on the rules, if you have a similar signs, just add them normally, then copy the sign. So 7 plus 1 gives you 8, then copy the negative sign. That's how you got negative 8x. Then the subtrahend of the numerator can be factored using GCF or greatest common factor. So here we have the 6x plus 2. They're both divisible by 2, so 2 divided by 6 is 3x, just copy the x, and then 2 divided by 2 is 1. Next is to change the equivalent fraction using the LCD or the least common denominator. To find the LCD, multiply the denominators. So our LCD is the quantity of x minus 7 times the quantity of x plus 1 times the quantity of x minus 1. So both terms has x minus 7, so all you need to do is to copy one of them. That's why we got our LCD. Then get the equivalent fraction by dividing the LCD to the denominator and multiplying to the numerator. So again, we have our LCD, the quantity of x minus 7 times the quantity of x plus 1 times the quantity of x minus 1 divided by the denominator of the first term, which is the quantity of x minus 7 times the quantity of x plus 1. So we divide out the common factors or cancel the common factors. So here they both have x minus 7. We cancel that out. And they also both have x plus 1. So we take that out as well. Then we multiply the numerator with the remaining one here, which is x minus 1. That's why we got the quantity of x plus 5 times the quantity of x minus 1. Let's do it on the second term. We have again our LCD divide by the denominator of the second term, x minus 7 times the quantity of x minus 1. Again, divide out the common factors or cancel it. So we have again x minus 7, cancel that out, and x plus 1. Again, multiply the numerator and the remaining factor, which is x plus 1. That's why we got 2 times the quantity of 3x plus 1 times the quantity of x plus 1. Now we have the equivalent fractions of the given. These fractions are now similar. Then we do the steps in solving subtraction of similar fractions, which are copy the denominator, then subtract the numerators. But first, we need to use FOIL method. That is when we multiply the first terms, then the outer terms, and then the inner terms, and then the last terms. And we get x squared plus 4x minus 5 from the quantity of x plus 5 times the quantity of x minus 1. We do the same thing on the other one, and we get 2 times the quantity of 3x squared plus 4x plus 1. Then we multiply those that needs to be multiplied. Here in this equation, we have the 2 times the quantity of 3x squared plus 4x plus 1. We can multiply that, and we get 6x squared plus 8x plus 2. Next step is to subtract the similar terms in the numerator. So you have x squared minus 6x squared, we get negative 5x squared. Then we have 4x minus positive 8x, we get negative 4x. How did that happen? So you can change the subtraction sign into an addition sign and change 8x into a negative 8x. So in rules in addition, if you have different signs, you subtract and then copy the sign of the bigger number. So 4 minus 8 is 4. Then since 8 is a bigger number, we copy a sign which is negative. That's how you get negative 4x. You just copy the x here. Same thing happens with negative 5 and positive 2. Positive 2 becomes negative. The minus sign becomes an addition. Then again, in rules of addition, if you have the similar signs, you add them normally and copy the sign. So, negative 5 plus negative 2 is negative 7, because 5 plus 2 is 7, and since they're both negative, you get negative 7. Since the numerator is negative, we need to multiply it with negative 1 to make it a rational expression. So, multiply it with negative 1, and we will get the quantity of negative 5x squared plus 4x plus 7 over the quantity of x minus 7 times the quantity of x plus 1 times the quantity of x minus 1. Lastly, simplify the result if possible. So here we have the quantity of x plus 1 times the quantity of x minus 1. We can factor that using a difference of 2 squares. So we get the quantity of x squared minus 1. So our final answer is the quantity of negative 5x squared plus 4x plus 7 over the quantity of x minus 7 times the quantity of x squared minus 1. So x plus 5 over x squared minus 6x minus 7 minus 6x plus 2 over x squared minus 8x plus 7. Our answer, again, is a quantity of negative 5x squared plus 4x plus 7 over the quantity of x minus 7 times the quantity of x squared minus 1. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something from this video. I'll see you next time. Bye!